All right, welcome back to Reflections Extension. So let's go to Window in Photoshop and we're going to find extensions on Exchange. So what I'm going to do is we're going to scroll down here and we're looking for reflections. So let's click on Free. Okay, and what I want to do is we're going to do Reflections in Photoshop. So we're going to click on that, and what I want you to do is we're going to look over what it's going to do. Okay, so this set contains 9 free Photoshop actions that create beautiful reflection effects. So you have the water reflection, the classic reflection, the wall corner, 6 folds, and much more. So let's make sure that it's compatible. Okay, it's compatible with Windows and Mac, and also check the version. Okay, so the version, Photoshop CC 14.0 to CC 21.0, so 2020. Okay, so it's free, so I'm going to click on that. We'll accept and continue. And let's view my Exchange. And let's make sure that this is installed. Yep, it's installed, so now I'm going to close this. We're going to go to Photoshop, and add-on reflections in Photoshop was installed. So if I go to extensions, it's not going to show up right now. So what I want to do is close Photoshop, and then we're going to reopen it. And then we'll be able to test this extension out. This is really fun for me and exciting because I love Photoshop so much that I literally could spend 10 hours talking to you about Photoshop. That's how much Photoshop is awesome. So let's go to Window and Extensions, and let's find out why it's not working. Let me just see. Let's see. Okay, so let's minimize this for a second. And I'm going to go into, actually let's go back in there. We're going to go to Find Extensions on Exchange. And I'm going to bring this over, because open another window. Okay, and let's go down to Reflections in Photoshop. And let's just make sure that we install it correctly, because some of these have different instructions. So okay, so navigate to your Downloads folder. You should find the Panos FX Reflections folder there. It contains Reflections Actions file. Okay, you may have to restart your computer for the download to complete. Method 2, double click the, okay, the action panel is not visible. Select Windows Actions in Photoshop. All right, let's try that first. So let's go to the Actions panel. And I'm just going to open a file here. So let's create a new document. Hit Create. And then let's go to the Actions panel. Yep, okay, so they're there. They're right here. So you're going to get the water reflection. Let's see what other ones that they have on there. Okay, let's just use one example, just so we can see what it does. Let's see, product info. So we can do water reflection and classic reflection. So what I want to do, so here's the water reflection. So we'll just use that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an image on Google that is like a, let's just go here and let's go to google.com and we'll type in lake. Okay, we'll just grab an image of a lake. And let's see here. So that one already has a reflection. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to right click on this one. Let's save the image to the desktop next to our cat. Nice. And then I'm going to right click on it and open it with Photoshop. Okay. Now I can run this action, and that's going to transform it and give it a reflection if it doesn't already have it, which it does have it, but again, we're just testing this out to make sure it works. So give it a second here to transform. Very cool though. So you can see what it's doing. It made a snapshot, convert mode, rasterize type layer, duplicate the current layer, transform the current layer. That's what it's doing right now. Then it's going to do ripple, motion blur, hue saturation, set current layer. So that's what's really cool about using extensions is people take the time to go out and create these for you so that you don't have to keep doing these repetitive things that don't really need to be done if somebody's made an extension for it. If they didn't make an extension, then I would say, yeah, keep doing it, no problem. But you want to try to make things easier so that more people can use the software and do these things, you know, because Photoshop is a great program. So we're just about done there. So it's just transforming the current layer. So there we go. Give it a few more seconds here and we should be done with the transform. And then it's going to do the ripple effect, the motion blur, and a couple other things. Let's figure this down. Yep, I can. Okay, so it's going to do the ripple next, then the motion blur, then the hue saturation, and then set the current layer. And then that will be the end of the actions that they're running in Photoshop for this. But again, this is a nice thing, and you can go on the Exchange and find a lot more extensions that can really make it easy to use. Yes, I'm going to hit continue. Make it really easy to use Photoshop. So that's the great thing about working with extensions and learning about extensions. Yeah, I've only talked about 2 extensions so far, but here's the thing. Extensions are a lot of fun and they simplify a lot of things. Like the first extension that we talked about, remove the background extension, that is a great extension because that eliminates a lot of the work and a lot of the time that you would otherwise have to spend trying to go through and remove every little nook and cranny on an image to get the effect that you want. So it will speed up your workflow and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know, you're basically working within what is already in the marketplace. So that's what you want to do as much as possible is work with what's already within the marketplace and improve it so that you can actually do the same thing eventually down the road when you get more familiar with Photoshop. If you're a beginner, then you can collaborate with those other people and add an extension for them to use and make it easier for everybody, because that's the idea. You want to make it easier and fun for people to learn Photoshop because it's such a great program. So it did the motion blur. Now we're going to do hue and saturation. And the nice thing about this is you don't have to do all this. Again, when you use the actions panel, you can set a number of parameters and record it. So you do one thing, and so here's what you would do if you were going to do actions. You would hit this little button right here, then you do the action, you do file, new, whatever, right? Then stop it, and then add something, and then stop it, add something, and then stop it. And basically it's running steps of, okay, the first step here is make a snapshot. Then we're going to convert mode. Then we're going to rasterize the type layer. Then we're going to duplicate the current layer. Then we're going to transform the current layer. Then we're going to ripple. We're going to do motion blur, hue saturation, and we're going to set the current layer. Okay? Those are all the steps that they did to set up this water reflection. Okay? And if you do it once and you record it, then you don't have to keep doing it every single time. You just do it once and then you make that what it is, and then you're done. So that's what's cool about it, is it works within what you're doing, and it allows me to go on a rant about Photoshop and how great it is while we're sitting here and waiting. Okay, so this is just about done, and then it's going to set the current layer, and then we'll get to see the effect, which I'm super excited about. This is going to look really cool, and let's see what it looks like. So we did all that, and I don't even see anything. Come on, man. All right, well, you get the idea. Let's see here if there's another. Okay, it's not there. Okay, so that is the reflections extension. Now, I didn't do anything because this image is not very good for that, but you got the understanding of what it does and why we're using it. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.